created one insert statement, and then we have executed that query. So let me show you the database what we have used. See here, this is the testdb is my database. Under that there is a table called student. So if I execute this particular query, select that and control enter. And so if you don't get it, first you have to make sure that you are using the DB. The command is use the database name. So first execute this query with control enter. See, use testdb. Now you just select this and control enter. And see, you have the data ID 1, 2, Ajay, Vijay is first record, second record Ajay, and third record Sanjay. So what we have done to establish this, first we have created a connection. See what are all the steps we have followed. So we have created the connection. For what connection we have created? We have created the connection to connect to your MySQL. So you have to establish the connection string first. This is the statement we have done. And then after that, you are going to create the statement. That is your query, statement or query. So whatever the statement you are trying to establish, you are going to take the connection object and create one statement. So you have created the connection statement, and after that you will be having your query. So you have written this query. So select insert into the table name student and values third Sanjay. Now what I am going to do, I am going to insert one more value, fourth Arjun. So this is the value. If you look at the table, see Vijay, Ajay, Sanjay is there. Now what I am going to do, I will execute this query. So the next step is a statement object, whatever the connection statement you have created, that execute the query. And finally, you are going to close the connection. So now the third step, what we have done, execute query. And finally you will close the connection. If you remember these steps, you can answer the interview easily. So how do you establish the database connectivity? Using your database. It could be MySQL, Oracle, DB2, whatever the database you are using. First you have to create the connection using the connection string, and then you have to create the statement, and then you have to execute the query, and then you have to close the connection. So these are the steps needs to be followed. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, after this I will execute this and show you whether the data is reflecting there or not. So now click on run and see your query got executed, and go to the workbench and execute this particular select start statement. See, fourth record got updated. So this is with respect to insert statement. So if I wanted to update the record, so now how are we going to update the record? Let us say I wanted to update Sanjay name with some name called Vidya. Okay, so how are we going to do it? So if first you need to understand what is the query you have to write. So instead of insert query, what I am going to do is I am going to make use of the same statement. I'll comment this line, string line, and I'll take this string query is equal to, okay, what you have to do is you have to write the query update. Okay, so what are we going to do? You wanted to update the table. So what is the table name? Student. Okay, so update student, where first you need to understand the statement. Okay, set, let me make it very simple. First I'll explain you what is the update query, and then I'll go back to your this one. Okay, so let me make it very simple. So what we have to do is, first you have to write the query update and then your table name. So your table name is student. You are going to set, what are we going to set? I wanted to set the first name Sanjay name. I wanted to set it to some name called Vidya. Okay, how are we going to do? Set first name is equal to what is the name you wanted to create, that you have to put it in the double quotes. Okay, so single quotes, you have to put it under single quotes, Vidya. So you have to give the reference, right, where exactly you wanted to change, where your ID, that is the first field, correct? So you are going to say that ID where that is 3, I wanted to change the first name. So you give ID is equal to 3. So now this is your query. Okay, so colon is the end. At the end, you have to update the colon. So now if you execute this query, see what is going to happen. Click on run and then go back to your workbench and refresh the table and see what is going to display. See here, third record got updated as Vidya. So this is how you will operate update statement. And the last one is I wanted to delete the record. Let us say I wanted to record the second record, that is Ajay a record I wanted to delete. So if at all you wanted to do the delete, so you have to use a command called, what is that command you are going to use? You are going to make use of delete command. So delete command is also as simple as how you have done with your update query. So we're going to see that now. So I'll comment this and then I will write another query that is for delete. So you have to take this and then put it here is equal to, you are going to make delete, put it in double quotes, delete from the table. Okay, so delete from student. So whatever the table you're using, you should know the table name and what record you wanted to delete. So you have to understand which record you wanted to delete, where ID is equal to, I wanted to delete the second record. So now give a colon at the end. So now the statement is completed. Remember one thing, whenever you are giving any name string, you have to put it in single quotes. If it is a number, you no need to put it in any of the quotes. So you can directly write the number. Now if you execute this query, this will get updated and you will be able to see the operation on the particular database. See here, Ajay is there. If you refresh this query one more time, the record will be removed. See here, 3 Vidya and the second record got deleted. So this is how you will be able to insert, update and delete. Okay, so these are all the important things when you are working with any of the databases. So now what I wanted to show you is, I wanted to show you how do you get the records. So I wanted to retrieve the data, that is called select statement. So when you wanted to perform select operation, it's little different than your earlier things like insert, update, delete. Apart from that, so what you are going to do is, in the previous ones, you are going to establish a connection, you are going to create the statement, you are going to execute it, and then you are going to close the connection. But what will happen when you are trying to retrieve the data? So what you have to do is, you have to uh, read the data, right? So you have to first establish the connection and then create the statement, and then you are going to hold or store the data into one string and then read the data from there. So that is the only difference we are going to make. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this statement and then put it here. I'll be writing select. What are all the records we have? We have ID, we have first name, ID and first name from your table name. What is the table name? You have table name as student. So once you have your table name, now your query is ready. So what are we going to do? You are going to execute the create the statement and store the data to record set. What does it mean? When I say record set, you are holding all the data to one record set. So that record set you can call it as result also. So we will use a default available class that is result set. Let's say rs is equal to, you will be making use of your statement result set, and then you will say that you are going to execute query, execute execute query. So now you have this data in the result set. So what we are planning to do is, once you get the result set, see here you have to import the respective class. So click here, so import result set.java, then automatically the result set class will be imported. And now we are going to read the data through one loop statement. See here, there are three records here. So I will make use of while statement because I might not see the database records. That's the reason you have to use while statement. rs, that is the record set or result set, dot next. That means I wanted to iterate the loop till those many times the data is available. So if you use while condition, then what will happen, you are going to get the data, that is rs dot get. The first one is id is integer, right? So I'm going to take get int, within the double quotes I'll take id. So that is my first record. So when I take this record, I have to hold it into one variable, right? So how do I take? I'll put it into one variable, that is int student id, that is equal to this value. So this is the first step. And the next one, I wanted to retrieve the first name, rs dot get string, get string within the double quotes first name, and then you have to hold the value and then assign it to one variable, string string. I'm going to write f name, first name of the student. So now you have your first name and then you have your id. Now what you can do is, you can display these values. Once you run the query, automatically you will be able to see the record. So how do you write system.out.println statement, and then I'm going to write my id, that is sid plus give some space plus your first name. So now if you execute this query, you will be able to see your record. See, anything is missing? System.out.println. Yeah, that's it. Just put double quotes. You are giving a space in between, right? So just have that space so that now if you run this program, see what is going to happen. See, you will be getting first Vijay, third Vidya, and fourth Arjun. The same data is available in our database table. So this is how you will be able to create the connection, and then you are going to create the statement or query, and then you will store the data into a result set, and then you will execute that query and display the data, and then finally you will close the data. So this is the way you will connect with your database. This is very, very important for any of the programming, like how do you interact with your database.